So we've already dimmed this down and locked it, but the rulers, Command R to bring a ruler guide right down the middle and put it right in the middle part of this letter M. And then I can lock the guides and just go ahead and position them down a little bit so I'm working on top of this graphic on this layer. So in this particular logo, it will be easier on the letter to just take the pen tool, start right on the guide, go right up here to the corner, come down, hold the shift key to keep it straight, come across on the guide, shift key, and then go ahead and close that up right there. And so now you have this shape that you can use the reflect tool, hold option and click right on the vertical ruler guide, and then just take a look at a preview and it flips it over to copy it. So again, with both of these selected, I can use the shape builder and just click and drag it across, and now I have a pretty symmetrical piece. There's, I couldn't tell, but I'll curve them anyhow. I'll just grab the two top pieces with the direct selection tool, take the corner widget and just round that off a bit. Is that supposed to be there? But I don't think we'll keep it straight there for starters. If you take a look at this one too with the J, the top of the J here, take the pen tool, click on the center guide, and draw out with a shift key, or just make sure that it's held straight. And you can extend the handle with the shift key and come down to the end point and extend that handle there. Okay. Zoom into it so you can see it. Command click and deselect it. So now I have this letter coming across, and with it selected, I'm just going to take off the fill so I can just see the stroke. You'll see that this part of the stroke is curved, so, and that's a direct selection tool, and it will allow me to take the stroke palette and curve it just on that point. The other end will stay straight, pretty sure, I hope so. And now I can increase the thickness of this. Okay, and it looks like it did curve on both sides. So now I have one path, and I can flip it and keep it as a path, or I can make it into a outline the stroke. So either way, it's going to give me a nice shape, but I'll keep it as a path for a second. See if I can flip it over. Again, hold the option and click on the insect section there and copy it. So now you have two paths, and just want to show you this other section here. So there's two of these pieces, put them back together. Take the direct selection tool. Actually, I think I can just select both the paths here. So they're both selected, and just go to Object Path, and it should let me join these together. So now it becomes one stroke right across. So the reason to do that is that now it's a very symmetrical piece. You can see it's off a little bit, but we'll treat it as a symmetrical section at start. And then the vertical piece, I'm going to take the pen tool again, click right in the midpoint of this, hold the shift key down. Actually, I'm going to extend the handle out a little bit so it'll start the curve, and try to see just how far I can get away with this. It looks like I might have to backtrack, so I'm going to set a curve here. I'll backtrack a little bit more. Maybe just put a little bit of the handle extending out. Shift key to curve that. And again, this is where you have to anticipate where you think the overall section is going to be. Let's see. Maybe I can finish it off right there. So there is the bottom part of the letter J, and a direct selection tool again. If I select this point inside here, has the handle, so I'm going to extend the handle down a little bit to get that curve a little better, more of a graceful curve there. I'm going to change the thickness of this down a little bit. change the color so it's a little easier maybe to see here. That's possible, maybe not. But I'm going to move it over temporarily just so I can see it next to it. And here's where I can take the stroke. I'm going to make it back to straight on the edges there. I can take the, up at the top, the section for the profile and see what happens. So I've used it from a thick to a thin, okay? And that'll give me that option. If I want to swap it or switch it, I can, but that's what it's set up as. And now if I make this a little thicker, you can see it has that tapered piece. And if that isn't what you want, I'm just going to option and duplicate it over. Easier said than done. So option, set a copy over here in case I goof up. And now I can use the width tool to see maybe I want to have this a little thicker here. And as it comes down to the end, I could adjust it a little bit, make it a little thicker like that. And it looks like it does have an addition to it, like a elliptical piece at the end. So I'm going to add that on, but first I'm going to take the path and outline the stroke, and then go ahead and take the pen tool and see if I can recreate that shape, spacebar a little bit, and then just select the both of them and take the shape builder right there, blend that. Now if you remember, the orange line was placed in there as a stroke, so in order for it to become a shape, just go to Object Path and outline the stroke. Shift key this, shape build this up into here. So now this can be treated as one color. Let's see if it's going to allow me to do that. So there's that piece. And here's this top part. So the top part still has a little triangle section inside, so I'm going to take off the fill, go back into the polygon tool. If you remember this, just option and shift, hold the shift key down. It's supposed to be like that. And now I have this part. I'll give this back to color. Shift on this to give it a color. So here I have both of these selected, and again I could use the shape builder, but I'll put the Pathfinder to use right here, and puts that as the hole right in the top there. So now I have just a couple colors placed in there.